everyone, and welcome to this session of Partner Talks organized by MiraBan UK Film Awards and Festival Emergence. Welcome Camille Felton, Canadian actress, director, and co-founder of Festival Emergence. Welcome to Andrea Trudel, the director of programming of Festival Emergence. I'm so glad to have you both here to take this opportunity to share our devotion to independent film industry and its creator. So welcome. So first of all, I'd like to give one big important information to our audience, to the independent filmmakers who are following us. So first and foremost, this partnership was created to give people who work in the film industry double exposure and a possibility to cross-promote their projects. So the winners of MiraBan UK Film Awards will be screened at Festival Emergence in August 2022, and their winners are going to be screened at our festival in March 2022, 17th of March. We are screening at the World Cinema, and we look forward to greeting you there with Sarah Lockett, our festival host, and our jurors. So I'm really hoping that you will take the chance to submit and share with us our projects. Okay, so I'd say we can all jump into our Q&A session. What we'll try to do, this is a Q&A session organized to share with you what we'd like to do, why these festivals have been created. Those of you who followed us, in the previous year, we created this partnership in July 2020. In the middle of the pandemic, we met at the Cannes Film Festival, a virtual edition, and we decided to collaborate for our future endeavors. So first and foremost, we'll go like a back and forth. Festival Emergence will ask some questions to MiraBan UK Film Awards and the other way around. I'd like you to start, Camille.
Our festival mission is to highlight young filmmakers. We want to know, what does your film festival do in order to encourage young filmmakers?
So first and foremost, what we try to do is allowing early stage filmmakers to submit for free and to also attend the festival for free. So we created like just a special pot of tickets just for them. In terms of recognition, we create partnership like this one to allow them to obviously learn through the festival circuits to how it is to work with other independent filmmakers and potentially find next collaborators, so expand their networking. And also, differently from Festival Emergence, who specifically focus on early young filmmakers, like I believe 30 or younger filmmakers. Yes. We focus more in general on the independent emerging filmmakers, so regardless of age. So in a way, we try to encourage the early stage. That could be not necessarily all young, but some of them are. But we do focus more on diversity-driven independent filmmakers, independents with low-budget productions who are still believing in their ideas, are all up for making it.
Oh, great!
I'd love to know how, in a way, is Festival Emergence is developing. What's new with Festival Emergence compared to when it started?
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, the Festival Emergence is a celebration of emerging Quebec filmmakers, and the festivities includes special screenings, workshop conferences, events, and a publicized awards ceremony. But this year, we have now a category for animated films, which we had last year as well, but it's also new. And we officially have an international competition which is called International Competition as well. So we encourage filmmakers age under 30 and under from all over the world to submit their short films. And the winner will have a cash prize and we'll have a trophy signed at Festival Emergence. So we encourage filmmakers from all over the world.
That's amazing. Yeah. Wow, so many things developed.
Yeah, we work a lot. We
wanted to know, our festival has been active for a few years now. Your festival has also been active for a few years now. What kind of growth have you noticed since the first edition, and what would you say helps the festival to keep growing, really?
That's a great question. Thank you. So first and foremost, I'd say that, since the first edition, what I witnessed is a great development of the films we selected. Like, I can just mention one for all. We had Legacy of Lies by Andrea last year, who won Best UK Feature. And it also, it kept traveling through festival circuits, and it also landed on Netflix. And we were so proud to see it in the top 10, voted by the audience. That showed us, that we believed in the right projects. So in a way, we witnessed the growth of our selected candidates, and that is a reward for us, because it tells us we're doing a good job. And also because we are seeing independent filmmakers also working with the mainstream, but not being confined to the mainstream. So that's a great, development. And in terms of the festival structure per se, it grew in terms of our, jurors. We like to change them every year because we like to see different perspectives on the actual, selection panel, and every year is different. The collaboration with some of the jurors this year is special because we decided to involve some of the winners of the last edition. It's like one of our jurors, the drama juror, is Stephen Mills, who made a beautiful film last year called Love Is Not Love, and he was in the drama section, and he won Best Actress. It was already a fun, festival favorite since the very beginning, and Stephen created something completely original and unique, and I felt like he had the insight. So that's the beauty about, I think, what we do with MiraBan UK Film Awards. It's a festival made for filmmakers, by filmmakers, and we really do like to engage and keep a bond we create with the winners of our festival.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
In terms of Festival Emergence submissions, I'm really curious to ask you actually, which kind of themes you find in a way recurrent? Is there a special subject that you notice it was kind of recurrent in the submissions?
I think that the short films that we see at our festival are really similar in terms that they're created by young people, and they really do tell their story. We see a lot of the reality of our generation through these short films, and obviously with the pandemic, some scripts had to be revisited, but despite everything, the result is just really amazing. And it feels really personal as well. Since many of them had to rework the story of their film, we see a lot of originality in the final result and in the story of the characters. The filmmakers are already working with few resources because they're so young and don't necessarily have really a big career in the film industry yet. So the production sort of became a challenge for some, but for others, it really was sort of an advantage because it made their creativity shine. However, despite the pandemic and just the few resources that they have, there's something that we can see in all of the films that we present is an excellent quality in the films. And I think that it's something that is very common in all the projects that we show at our festival.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Well said, Andrea.
Thank you.
Talking about movies and categories of films, your festival has many short films categories. Have you found that one of those categories is often overlooked? Like you see a lot of them?
In terms of categories, I think probably because of the last 2 years of the pandemic, there is a tendency towards drama-based productions rather than I would love to see a comedy that is pure comedy. I see always comedies that are a bit contaminated by a different genre. So that's not a negative thing, but I feel sometimes the comedy section is a bit overlooked in terms of underrepresented, and we get too many drama-based shorts. So I hope if the future is a bit more bright than the present one, we'll get a counterbalance in this particular section.
Yeah, I want to talk about something as well. I didn't see all of the films that we received yet because I have to do it in many parts. But a subject that you said made a point, because the reality here, it's kind of the dramatic always, with the pandemic and the measures and the security and all of that stuff. So yeah, that's a point that we have, in the fiction and animation category. It's really about drama and sad stories, and there's not a lot of laugh and happiness. And I think that I would want to see something funny sometimes, but the reality is that we are inspired by something sad because we live in a sad reality. Well, not sad reality, but it's not the happiest reality right now.
Yeah. Well, in general, the drama categories has always been like, the drama as a genre is one of the most produced. Even before pandemic, it was like that. So probably everyone has a tendency towards this genre regardless. But definitely, it grew so much throughout the pandemic. And actually, a question that is related to this particular scenario for independent film industry, how is it the situation in Quebec in terms of like how the pandemic has affected the independent film industry from your perspective, obviously?
Well, it has been hard. I'm an actress, so I work on a lot of movie sets and everything that is not my movie set. So I see, and the government is really involved, in all of the measures for all of the works, and there's a lot of measures, security measures. The mask is mandatory. We have less people on the set, so resources are also less easy to have. There has been, I'm looking at my notes, sorry. But slowly but surely, we're gonna get through the pandemic, and it's already getting better because the virus is less intense. So the movie sets are slowly but surely getting through some easiest measures, but it has not been easy. A lot of actors and filmmakers and people who work on movie set that are assistants and who don't have a particular job or that important of a job, lost their job because we weren't allowed to be as much people as we were before on set. So that hit hard, but it's getting better.
Yeah. Do you think in a way, still related to this question, did it prevent any independent, like let's say first feature film director to start their projects? Like, did it in a way discourage people to try? Because that's what I think I witnessed on, in general, European and in British side, there has been a lot of independent production that have kind of just paused on, not jumped into the production side. They endlessly stayed in pre-production, and that is because the cost, like the COVID has created, because it's it skyrocketed the budget, and in a way that budget ultimately ends up being pollution. So you try to introduce green tips on set, but on the other side you counterbalance with a lot of non-recyclable waste. So I think, at least from my perspective, independent film industry is also trying to be as green as possible, and obviously the budget being chewed up by this extra cost in health and safety, that obviously is important, but it's it also grew so much because of the pandemic, is preventing people, independent young filmmakers, to give it a chance and start a project now and probably push it forward.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can speak for my experience as well, because I'm a filmmaker, and I talked to people who make movies as well, and I knew that it was gonna be harder to get money and subventions and access to all the resources that we used to be able to have easier. And now it's a lot difficult because it's a lot more difficult because government has, put money in other departments as such as health and security and everything else but arts. So, and in Quebec, it's mostly government who gives money for the independent filmmakers. Even if you are independent, it's really, really expensive to make a movie. So unless you're really rich, you have to depend on the government. And if the government doesn't want to inject money in the art domain, well, you have to wait your turn and be patient and work a lot harder to have money, because there's the same amount of filmmakers who want to make movie but less money, so it's not everyone who can be working. So yeah, we're working really, really hard to make our project become greater and greater, because we have to access to that money, and we can't because the subventions that the government want to give money to the older people, the more experienced filmmakers. And that's why we're here, Festival Emergence, to help young filmmakers who can't, and especially in that moment of time with the pandemic, who can't have money, who can't have resources, subventions, being taken seriously as well. We're there to tell them, no, you're just as good as everyone, and you can work, you can be a filmmaker. You just have to push through and be encouraged with the good people. And we want to help because we're in the same situation.
Of course, yes.
Speaking of independent filmmakers and how hard it is to make movies in times like today, we do believe that they deserve to be more highlighted in the film industry. And how do you think that film festivals can support the independent film industry?
Well, I think, nowadays, especially for independent film industries, mostly film festivals are their last anchor. And that is because, as I said, the festival circuit is their, I would call it like motherland, because that's the only way you can eventually have a niche audience that really likes your project, and eventually you find a distributor interested in this. So like we said, like our films that were selected in the past, they also won a distribution contract, and that is something that came traveling through festivals and winning those laurels that in a way represent recognition, represent people wanting to watch your movie, going there, and because they love that specific genre. So in a way, I feel sometimes because of this endless duo between the mainstream and the independent industry, the main industry is squashing, I would say, the mind focus that we have when we watch a movie, because they tend to go and be the video game like rather than cinematic like. So I think the movies like the ones that we find in the festivals, they are in a way nurturing our minds, and that's why I think independent film industry has still a place to go through film festivals. And that doesn't mean they won't reach the movie theater and hit, like we had the example of Legacy of Lies on Netflix. So it's all about trying to find the right circuit and never stop trying. So festivals like ours, like Camille said, we are here to push and encourage everyone, regardless of their age, to keep creating. And it's great that in Quebec, a lot of projects can be government funded. It's true that the government then cuts short those they don't believe they can make it, but it's great that there is this opportunity. And eventually, actually, this brings me to a question. Since the government funds this project, do they also offer distribution agreements? Do they help in distribution, or that's something completely left to the production?
Well, it's a step-by-step process. So if you want to do like a a short film and you want it to be distributed in festivals and be produced with a lot of, a big budget and stuff, you have to do step by step. So you have to well, first of all, you can go search for a producer, and the producer will help you get funding with the subventions of the government and will help you get a distributor. But the distributor and the government, it's not the same thing. The government just gives the money, and after that, you have to find someone who can distribute your films in festival. But the people who distribute films in short film festivals and in feature film festivals are not the same. It's a big, I don't know how it is in UK, but in Quebec, it's a really long process to find people who want to work with you to distribute and produce and gives you money. As well as the government, the producer, and the distributor. But you can also go as yourself and distribute your film into short film festivals, send it, and if it's good, people will select your film. It's just that if you have a distributor, you will have more chances to get in festivals, because a lot of short film festivals and just film festivals in general in Quebec prefer when the film is backed with a distributor or a producer. It adds a lot of more credibility, but once again, it depends on the festival.
It's similar in the UK in terms of, like, obviously you have to, as a production, find your own distributor. My curiosity was if there was like a preferred list from the government of these distributors. If they have, if they back a production company, I bet there might be an agreement.
No, unfortunately.
Can you tell us something about the winners that you send us? Like, what makes them so special, and why our audience should be so, happy for watching them?
In terms of last year, the Grand Jury Prize winners really stood out because of their originality of content. The filmmakers of that Grand Jury Prize, their names are Jean-Christophe Diac and Alexandre Pépin. They made a short documentary in the Czech Republic that features a music group which makes us learn about the reality of gypsies, which are marginalized people. It was really what made the short film special. It was really an intimate portrait, and the filmmakers really stood out because of their enthusiasm that they wanted to share with this group and their culture, and that really shines through the short film. We have also the other short films winners. So honestly, for all the winning films, we sort of noticed that there's an originality of the works that really charmed us, and they really all went out of the box, either in terms of content or execution. So really, they all made something very, very special. So I think something that we can clearly see is the fact that they invested body and soul in the process of creating their film, which honestly was just it was resulting in something really just amazing. And it's honestly they're just great movies to watch.
We have so many beautiful stories coming up this year, and along with the opportunity that we try to give, like with cross promotion, as we said, with your festival, the iPitch TV promo codes that allow our winners to pitch to potential LA-based producers and executives. So that's one of the awards that we're really proud of, because they also give pro advice how to pitch a feature film, a new project. So we try to encourage as much as also the educational side of the emerging filmmakers, how to work through this journey to find not only next collaborators, but eventually secure a next production, a next distribution contract. So we are growing in every sense, and I really look forward to share these movies on live stream and also at the physical film screening and award ceremony in March. So we all wait for you at the World Cinema. If you haven't reserved your tickets, check them out on our website, mirabanukfilmawards.co.uk. There are free tickets for early stage filmmakers and a portion also for independent filmmakers. So we really, really look forward to seeing you there.
Us too. Thank you for bringing us into your live, and we really look forward to our collaboration this year again.
I'm so pleased that you joined me through this live stream, and I look forward to see your projects at our festivals.
Thank you for having us.